Hello, Pendle here from Soundust, back with more sponge-based fun. Now this is the sponge piano, which is essentially a really nice Kramer piano. Essentially it sounds like this. Essentially it sounds like that. It's a Kramer upright, one I've used for a few different kind of techniques and recordings. And it's recorded with my human thumb and a bathroom sponge, quite literally pushed against the string. Play the note, record the note, move the thumb and sponge down a little tiny bit, play the note, record the note, etc., 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 until you build up 7 octaves of up to about 20 velocity levels per note. That's me with my foot on the pedal and off. Let's go through some of that. So you've got 7 octaves, up to 20 velocities per note. It's recorded binaurally with a Jecklin disc, which is like using a binaural head, but is a little bit less susceptible to sounding weird and mono. If you're on headphones, it sounds lovely. It sounds lovely without headphones as well. So I've made it as simple as it can be. It's, the sponge piano is about the sound of the sponge piano. There's not lots of presets. There's not lots of fiddle-faddle going on. It's about one really nice sound with some variations that you can use. And basically every time you use it, you move the controls, your DAW will save those control settings. So it barely even needs presets. But to go through what there is there, obviously, first thing, there's the huge in the middle here, the snazzy arpeggiator, which goes from 2 to 32 steps in all varying lengths. Turn it on here, you've got different modes. These act as velocities. You've got lots of different lengths. You've got humanized control, which slightly alters the timing and the velocity, length of notes, swing, strike is number of times each note is hit, and octave gives you kind of octave jumps, up or down. You can only go down if there's somewhere to go down to, obviously. Within that, you've also got various modes. This is in chord mode at the moment, so it's just playing things as straight chords. Various arpeggiator modes. And this one here, fixed velocity, that just means if it's responding to the keyboard velocity. So if I play them all quietly, they'll all be kind of down in velocity. With fixed velocity, it responds to the actual velocity drawn in there. That makes sense, I think. Okay, so that's your first thing, and you can do really lovely things with that. Or you can, sorry about that strange noise. Or you can and play bad notes. When it goes into sustain mode, that's because I've got my foot on the pedal, which brings me to the controls over here on the left. Now, this here is for sustain, and it's set to be controlled by, let's turn the arp off, set to be controlled by your mod wheel. So you can make kind of shorter staccato with your notes like that just using your mod wheel. If you want to change it, right click and you can change whatever, make it controlled by anything you flipping well want. Attack, or A, just softens the attack by by not very much, but or to more, but generally it's just for adding a little bit of subtle softness. Guess what volume does? Yes. All of these are hardwired into your DAW's automation, so they should kind of just show up. If you wiggle those controls when recording, then they should turn up in your DAW's automation. Round robin, now these are kind of fake round robins, and they're quite interesting as a result. So what they do, they kind of note share with the notes around them, and this is how far you can send the note share, which can go quite a long way, which gives you a way of having more variation, obviously. Not that you really need it. And resets how often. So that's basically every note will now be shared across 8 notes, repitched, etc. Just gives you a slightly different quality. It does interesting things with the stereo because of the way it's recorded, and if you're grabbing notes from 8 notes to the right, then the stereo is going to jump around a bit. It's there for adding extra variation and loveliness. Velocity sensitivity, so it's how your keyboard responds. At 0, everything, no matter how hard I hit, will be the same volume. Even the quiet notes, 100% the quiet notes are quiet, loud notes are loud. You know the thing. Must have learned some new chords. Then you've got the transient control, which is a way of adding even more clunk and shortness, and the other way around, etc. Just more subtle controls. Tape adds subtlety or non-subtlety. All these controls turn on and off by just clicking on the actual logo icon. Yeah. EQ, similarly, very handy for giving a big old hump down there. You see down here, I can't point to both. It'll show you what every control does as well. So you can do a bit more modeling of the shape or the sound of it, etc. Or should I say, etc. Delay, which you can set the delay units here, and then turn it on and off here. Feedback here. You know how delay works. Cabinet, you wouldn't normally put piano through a cabinet. This is a modelling of a speaker cabinet, but I quite like what it does. It adds another quality, which is rather nice. Same with the room, it's just a simple impulse. We've already got a quite nice close sound. We can add a bit more room into that sound. Like I say, it's about just having a great sound and making it usable. The demos will do the whole thing a lot more justice about how it can sound than my keyboard skills ever can. That actually, surely, really is actually it. I've gone through everything. Can that be? Anyway, yes, I think I have. Sponge piano. Available now, otherwise this video wouldn't be here. It's another piano, and it's I don't think anyone else has done a sponge piano before. If they have, they've kept it very quiet from me. So, thank you very much. Sound Us Sponge Piano, a thumb and a sponge, I think.